sorry, so chapped. So as you just saw, I went to Barnes and Noble. I went to Barnes and Noble like a couple days ago when I was in Virginia for my field hockey tournament that I went to. So when I was there, I wanted to go to Barnes and Noble and get some books. So I got a couple books at Barnes and Noble, which I will show you. But first, I want to show you some of the books that I recently got from Amazon. I went to Target first, where I live, and they didn't have any of the books that I wanted. So from Amazon, first I got Daisy Jones and the Six because I had just read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which will be in my reading wrap-up, so you guys can check that out. I really liked that book, so I immediately went and got this one. I already read it, I already tabbed it, so this will also be in the reading wrap-up. I read this book so fast. I read it in like a day or two. I really like Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing, so I had to pick this up right after I read that book, and I read this book. I had Evelyn Hugo sitting on my shelf for the longest time, and I don't know why I never picked it up because I love learning about old Hollywood, and they're fictional, but it's still like you're reading an actual person in Hollywood in like older times, and I love learning about like Shirley Temple, Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland, like all of that kind of stuff, and the behind the scenes of all their stuff in Hollywood. So I was like, why have I never read it? I literally had it sitting on my shelf, picked it up and loved it, picked this up, loved it. So she's beginning to be a new favorite author of mine. So next, I also, in my February wrap-up, you will see that I started this series. And so after I read the first book, I had to go and get the novellas. I think that's how you pronounce it. I read the first one. There's 2 in here. So after you read the first book, you read the first novella. And then I also picked up the second book in the series, which I have like not that much left in it, which will be in my March wrap-up because it's March 1st right now. And then after I read this one, I read the second novella. And these books are definitely different from what I've read. It's dystopian kind of world, and I usually read romances, you know, thrillers. I never have really read anything like this, but I've been really enjoying it so far, and I've read it really fast as well, which is good. So now moving on to the books that I got at Barnes & Noble. So I'm really excited about them. So first from Barnes & Noble, I got Things We Never Got Over. This book has been huge for like the past like year or two, and I've always seen it. I've always wanted to read it, and I just recently picked it up. So let's hope that we like it because Lucy Score has a lot of other books that I really want to get to, so I'm hoping that I like this so then I can go and get her other books as well. And I'm pretty sure this is more small town romance, which I like a lot of different tropes. I'm not really picky with my tropes. You know, if it's a good book, it's a good book. I don't really have specific tropes that I don't like or do like. I kind of like them all. I'm not very picky, TBH. But see, my little sister said she looked at this and she's like, Lucy Scoop? I'm like, does that say Lucy Scoop? No, it doesn't say Lucy Scoop. It says Lucy Score. So I'm excited to read this. Then next I got If You Had Been With Me. I love this cover. It's like a matte finish. This is probably one of my favorite covers ever. I don't know, it's just so simple and cute. I don't know too much about this book. I've just seen a lot of people love it, and it's just sad, and you know, I don't usually cry for books, so we'll see if this book makes me cry. Next, of course, I got in the next they're not really in order, but they're like kind of in order. Like you see different characters in this book that are in the other book. One of the characters in here I think is in Evelyn Hugo. So another Taylor Jenkins Reid book, Malibu Rising. I'm so excited to read this as well. I literally every time I went to Target or, you know, Barnes & Noble, I would always see this book and I was like, I don't know, do I want it? And then I realized you kind of have to, you don't have to read the other books before, but you know, I was like, so I got Evelyn Hugo, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, read that, read Daisy Jones 6, so now I could read this. I just had to do them in order. I'm just that kind of person. I don't know. And then last but not least, from Barnes & Noble, I, of course, got book 3 in the Shatter Me series, which is Ignite Me, so that I have it when I'm finished the second book, which I'm almost done, and then the second novella, and then I can read this, and then we'll have to get all the other books. So those are all the recent books that I've kind of accumulated in the past like week or two. And so, you know, probably shouldn't buy any more books because I'm spending a lot of money on books, but you know, it's fine. It's okay, you know, because we're reading all of them. It's worth the money, guys. It's worth the money. They're worth the money. They're worth the money, okay? So I hope you enjoyed my little haul, my little bookstore buying, and stay tuned for my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.